Hey everybody, so it is week 32 in this fast moving pregnancy of mine. 8 months pregnant, which is craziness. And so, as usual, I'm just like, I say that every week. I know it's so repetitive, but I just can't believe it. So a couple of things. Last night, Kyle and I started, we are taking a 3-week intensive Bradley method class. So yay. And it was really cool. It was we were the we were the only parents in there that already had kids. So it was funny because it's a small class. There's only 4 couples total, and it was funny because, like, everybody had lots of questions, including myself, but my questions were more directly related to pain management and focus and things like that, where some of their questions were related to things like, what are the 3 stages of labor and what happens when you dilate? And it was funny because Kyle and I were like, oh, we're old hat at that part, but it was a fun class. It was like 3 hours long, but it didn't feel like that at all. It was really fun, and we ended the class doing these relaxation techniques and these like massage point techniques that your partner was really hands-on with you, that you can do in early labor. They might not be as effective in like a real active labor because you might just be like, get away, but for early labor they seem like a really good idea. Honestly, they were a really good idea right then because it felt amazing. I was like, I'm just gonna fall asleep. So that went well. And then today I had my midwife appointment, and that was awesome. And every time I go to my midwife appointment now, I get like anxious that my blood pressure is going to be higher, or there's going to be protein in my urine, or something's going to be wrong. But everything was good. When you go to the midwife, you do these little test strip things, and they test for a bunch of stuff. And the main thing my midwife cares about is that my ketones aren't low, that I'm hydrated, and the protein in the urine. And she cares about the other stuff too, but that's the main stuff. So I had no protein in the urine, which is fantastic. My blood pressure was 116/58, which is great. So far, I gained not even a whole pound this past 2 weeks, so that was good. So everything was really good. But I told her, I was like, every time I come, I was like, I feel my heart like speeding up, and I was like, I just feel it like every time because I'm worried, and I was like, I'm scared I'm gonna look like I have higher blood pressure even if I don't because I get nervous. But I don't know. Anyway, today I felt like my pulse was pounding, like my heart was pounding, because I was just like, what's my blood pressure going to be? And it was still a really good blood pressure rate. So I just hope it keeps going that way. You know, so far so good. Then other than that, she talked about how at this point she'd like me to try to get more rest during the day. She's like, I know it's hard. I know you have a 2- and 3-year-old. And I was telling her, I was like, we play a lot of games where like I literally will like lay on my side on the couch and they'll play doctor on me. And it's really, it's a nice game. I like just sit there and I'm like, ah, like I'm all relaxed. They just play doctor or things like that, you know. So trying to do more of that. Actual symptoms this week. It was funny. I was watching my pregnancy vlogs from my last pregnancy, and with the one with Grayson, I was talking about how I was having tremendous pelvic pressure, and it's because Grayson was really low. This baby's high. She is just floating on up there. Like, she is so high. I mean, she's high enough that even the midwife gets surprised. Like, she'll try to find her heartbeat, and she always has to move up higher than she would expect to at 8 months pregnant. She's like, you know, and today she was like, she really is high. She's like, people say the babies are high, and they're usually like maybe a little, but not really. She goes, yours actually is very high. And I was like, I know. Trust me, I know. I can just feel her. It's like, oh, she's just high. But anyway, I'm not having that pelvic pressure like I did with Grayson because I guess the position of the baby. So that's nice. We learned in the Bradley method class that because the heaviest part of the baby is their head, gravity can really affect the position of the baby. So the reason why most babies aren't breech is because it's more comfortable for them, like based on gravity, for their head to, the heavier part of their body to go down. So they're talking about how also if you lean back a lot, which I do because it helps stretch out my rib cage. helps me breathe easier. However, I found out that when you do that, it actually puts you in a position that's likely to spin the baby's head sunny side up. And so it's better to not hunch, but sit forward and just, you know, obviously everything can be different. It's not like this is a guarantee that it'll make your baby go to the right position. These are just things that can help. And obviously I'd like to do everything that would help. But if I sit up more straight, or even like leaning forward a little bit with my back still straight, that helps the baby get into a position that's not sunny side up. Both my children, Grayson and Sophia, were sunny side up. Sophia, the whole time I delivered her sunny side up. Grayson, I think he flipped around right while I was in labor though, so I labored with him that way. It's not a big deal, it just causes you to have more back labor. She did something weird this week. On Tuesday night, we were out, Kyle, Sophie, and I were out to dinner, just the three of us, and the baby started moving like crazy, which she does around that same time every day. But her movements got really weird. They were very hyper, and they lasted well over 20 minutes of her. I mean, I cannot even describe it. She's a really active baby. I feel her kicks and her little movements so clearly. But this was just weird. I mean, it got to the point where, well, one, I was like physically kind of in pain about it. And then two, I think it's in my day in the life. I think we were filming a day in the life that day. So like, I think I'm on, you know, like I complained about it during the filming of that. But that's the day in the life that'll be up on Monday. So you can watch that. But it was just so uncomfortable. And it was so spastic that after a while I was like, is she okay? Like maybe she's in distress and she's like kind of freaking out. I don't know. And then she finally settled in and stopped. And then the next day she was really still. Like I still felt her moving, so, but I wasn't her normal active kicks. But then by the evening, that was yesterday. Yesterday evening she was moving more like she normally did. So I did mention it to the midwife, and she was kind of like, she does it again, call me. But you know, she said that, but basically because she's been moving like normal since last night, and on all day her movements have been like normal. You know, it wasn't anything to kind of freak out about, but it was weird. Not really having any other real symptoms. I got swollen this weekend. On Saturday my ankles were kind of puffy, particularly my left one, but we went to the museum all day, and then I sat at the computer for the rest of the day finishing up that film project that I mentioned before that I was finishing up for my freelance film work, and I finished it, yay, so I feel a lot better about that. But anyway, it was the sitting really that did it. But it was kind of cool in a way though, because with Sophia at this point I was getting swollen everywhere. Like my face looked really puffy, and with Grayson I even looked more puffy than I do now. But this time it was literally just my ankles, not my legs, not even really my toes. It was literally just right around my ankles. It was just kind of puffy, and as soon as I got my feet up it started to go down and went away really quick. So it was definitely like I just said I should have gotten up more, or you know, to move around. So but that was it. Other than that, I'm just not really swelling at all, and it's hot. Like the midwife was talking about how even just a normal person is going to swell up a little bit at the end of the day in this heat, and I'm just really not swelling, and I'm just glad. And I just, you know, keep drinking water and just hoping that, you know, it keeps going that way. It is totally normal to swell a little bit, especially at this point in your pregnancy, regardless of if it's hot or not. But you know, I just, like I said, I just watch it, just making sure everything's in check the way it's supposed to be. So other than that, there's no real symptoms. I still love to eat the ice, and I'm not really having much heartburn. I had a little bit of that earlier on, but it's kind of gone away, even though she's up high. So I would think I'd have it, you know, I had it bad for a while, but it's kind of settled. And then no real other symptoms. I'm not having excessive back pain. Oh, I know, my right hip does hurt a lot, and we've actually discovered a method that helps fix it, so to speak. Basically, like Kyle takes my leg and he rotates it in this like wide circle, and we kind of bring it down, and it will pop. You will hear and feel this loud bassy, it's not like a treble, it's not like a high noise, it's like this low, like boom. And as soon as it happens, I don't know exactly what's popping, but I feel better. So it's almost like we've discovered how to fix it. But other than that, like no other real aches or pains, which is just great. I'm very, very happy pregnant lady, so that's good. I am working on the big brother and big sister gifts for the children. I started a board on my Pinterest where I've been like kind of pinning my ideas, so I'm going with more of a creative type avenue. I'm not doing something as on the nose, like I'm not doing like a specific big sister book or a baby doll like I did. That's kind of what I did for Sophia, but I'm going to do more like just kind of like fun activities that and like making it kind of special for just something, and it's, you know, it's going to be from the baby and for the children and da 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 da, just so it's more like just something fun and neat and activities for them to do, you know. So yeah, and like I started pinning stuff about that. I've actually ordered some things, but I'm going to do a separate video about it. And then other than that, everything's coming along nicely. As you can see, we got our bedding in, our custom bedding in. If you haven't seen our latest Operation Get Ready for Baby video, you should go look. It's episode 5, has all of that information in it, so woo! And we are zooming through our checklist, and so that is also another video I'm doing, is our organizational methods, and I'll share my list with everybody. But we're getting through it. The room right now is kind of, there is just, I mean, there is baby stuff out the wazoo, you guys. It is like everywhere. But yeah, we're getting rid of like the furniture, the extra furniture we have in here that was left over from the office in the guest room. It's we're getting rid of it this weekend, so that'll clear up some space and start. Then I'll start, you know, working on getting everything where it needs to go. And this is really fun. It's the really fun part. So, okay, you guys, so that is it for this week. And baby dust to all my TTC friends out there. I'll show you the belly, and I will see everybody later. Bye.